What's up guys, my name is Tetos and in this video I'm going to tell you how you can upgrade the pre-game stuff, so masteries, runes, etc. of my guides, because I've gotten quite a few comments of people who told me, please can you update your Aurelia guide, can you update the Ribbon guide for season 6, can you update the Thresh guide? But the answer is no, I can't really do that because first off, you can do that yourself, the parts that are not accurate anymore, and secondly, the actual gameplay stuff, so laning phase, team fighting, etc. roughly stayed the same. So that's probably something that will not get outdated, but of course, if I would make another guide with new masteries, with for example the Keystone masteries now, if there is a patch, everything might be useless or worthless after that, so I don't really want to do that, don't want to spend time doing that. I would rather tell you guys how to directly upgrade the guide yourself, or just look for the masteries and runes, etc. that the pros are using. So there are a couple of sites you can use, mainly starting off with how to upgrade the already existing guide. For example, let's say the Twisted Fate guide. Then you would look for the pro player, for example Dopa or Ebdo, for his account, and then of course watch his match history and stuff like that. So on op.gg you can already see all the players, and then hopefully find a Twisted Fate game such as this one. Go to the loop here, the zoom icon, then you can see item builds. And if you click this button here, it's in Korean sadly, but that's how it is, you can find the runes and masteries. However, if you are like me, you don't really like to use this cumbersome way, because there's an easier way actually. So we want to go to the match history, and actually you can not just search in the North American match history for the Korean players. So there's a little workaround for everyone who still wants to do that, because I really like going there and having this overview, sorting everything, and then just, for example, duplicating this tab a couple of times and then opening all the Fiora games, for example, if I want to see how Lord Master King plays Fiora. So you can just Google the match history for Korea, and you will find, actually, Korean match history, yeah, that's this one. You will find this link here. Of course it's in Korean, so it doesn't really help that much, but here you can look for the players. So for example, we have Dopa here, and I can then search for Dopa on the side, and there will be the same games as you can see here. So Sad, Vigor, Fizz, Sad, Vigor, Fizz, but of course you can't read anything, and if you go on the match details, you will not be able to read everything, so it's not really the best. That's why you can do a little workaround here. Go to the North American match history, open any game, maybe even your own, for example, and you will see, if you look at the address bar here, that it's very similar, but not exactly the same. But the IDs here for the match and for the players are the same. So what you're gonna do here is copy the whole link, for example, from this Dopa game here, this set game, copy it and paste, not everything. You're just gonna take this part here, so KR and then the ID basically. Then you're gonna remove that, because that could be an A actually or something else, and you get the same game, but of course with the English language. So for example, let's say I'm looking for myself here, that's a different player. Oh, I'm not on NA, okay. Let's say Dyrus, of course. We can find his games here, then go to any game, for example, and then do the same. So we just copied this part here, go to his match details, and then replace the NA1. So that's the part where I want to replace. Press enter, and then you get the game. And now you don't have to do all these things again. You better bookmark this page, and then you can go on Dopa and then browse the profile normally. But if you, for example, are in the North American match history, you cannot look for Dopa. This won't give you the real Dopa. As you can see, this is some dude from an A who plays jungle Jax. It's not the same thing, and it won't work like that. So this is one way how you can find the pro players. Runes, masteries, item builds, which I really like to use, because then you can also filter for champions, and it works really well to just see recurring patterns and adapt your own rune pages and masteries to their playstyle. And now, of course, op.gg is perfect for getting the replays as well. If there's a high elo player or pro player you want to watch who plays a certain champion, you just download the replays, but you need a Korean League of Legends client for that. The North American or European client usually won't work this way, so you have to get the Korean one and patch it, which takes quite a long time, because actually the I don't know, the connection speed seems to be pretty poor to Korea, even though I have a very awesome internet connection. So that's one way how we can upgrade an already existing guide. So for example, for his Twisted Fate, you would just go to the match history here and then, as I said, do the same procedure. So you can find this Dopa account, even though you have the North American and English match history, because you can't really read that usually if you're not Korean, if you don't know Korean. Now, if this doesn't work because the player don't play the champion anymore, I recommend, of course, pro builds, because this is a site where you can find every champion that gets played by certain pro players who are added to the database. But sometimes just nobody plays it if it's not in the meta, so you might not really like to use pro builds, and you can still use champion.gg. But first, I want to show you that op.gg actually, if you don't know, the pro player accounts has a list where you can find all the pro players and their respective teams. So you just go to pro spectate, but don't spectate anyone, you just go to a list of professional gamers. And here you can see all the pro players from all the teams, even the foreign ones. Some might be outdated, for example, there should be still, yeah, there's still Gravity Gaming, some people here, or I think even Team Solo Mid or something, if you scroll down far enough, or Cloud9. Of course, these people aren't really active, but for example, let's say you want to find the SKT people, you just look for the team, where is it? Oh, there it is. And then you can see all the accounts and Smurf accounts they're using. So we just go, for example, to Duke's account. This is his main account, I guess, because it's Challenger. It says right here, Challenger. This is the current division. This was from the previous one, so it doesn't really count. And for example, this account doesn't even have a rank yet, so it might not be active in solo queue. So you want to, if you want to find Fakers games, you go to the Hide on Bush account, of course, obviously. And then you can find the same thing again with the replays, and then do the same procedure again, because it's the fastest way in my opinion. Just Google the Korean match history and then find this tag, this name tag. You can just copy and paste it, and then of course open the North American match history and do everything which I said earlier. So if this doesn't work, if nobody seems to be playing the guy, you can still go to champion.gg, which is a great site which takes platinum games and above and has all the statistics. So you can see all the champions here and all the roles. So for example, if you want to play Garen top lane, you go to this link here, and then you can see all the runes, the skill order, highest win percent and the most frequent. But I would usually go for the most frequent one, because the highest win percent is something that's sometimes in very few games, only compared to the total games or a maximum amount of games. And sometimes these are just runes which were chosen situationally by people who know how to play the champion already, because as you can see here, people who have more games, they have a higher win rate. So it goes for every champion like this. Just means that I wouldn't really go for the highest win percent all the time. The most frequent ones are probably pretty decent in almost every case, especially for people who are not super high elo. It will be a very good starting point, at least until to Diamond or maybe even Masters. At least Diamond, I would say. So this is something you can also use, a great site, and those are mainly the ones I'm using. So if I'm, for example, playing a champion that I know nobody is playing, I will just go to champion.gg and check the current masteries, because it's way faster than just looking up the pros who might play it or might not play it. But if you want to upgrade my Play Like a Pro guides, of course you can use the op.gg site, because this list here is for every region managed by someone. I don't know who, probably a staff member. So you can just change, for example, to North America, if you want to do that. And then you have a different list of summoners. This is in German somehow. I don't know why. Let's switch it to English. So you can see the members from CLG or Immortals, and then the accounts that are added. Sometimes it's not really that accurate, because especially now, since people aren't really playing that much solo queue, some pro players are really not playing that much at all. Solo queue, that is, they're just scrimming because they wait for the true solo queue and they don't want to play dynamic queue. But this list here is great if you just want to find out the accounts from the pro players. So I'm using it, and that's basically how I always do the pre-game stuff. So runes, masteries, summoner spells, I just look at this match history and look, oh, he's using these summoner spells in these cases. Then I look at the match details and okay, he's playing against this team and he's playing with this team, and then I'm basically thinking about why he's choosing these runes, for example, or these masteries, if they are different. Because sometimes he's just using the same runes and masteries, as you can see, or as you probably know from my guides. So that's my little upgrade or tutorial on how to find out pro players, or just good masteries, I guess, if you want to copy the pros. And that's it for this time. I hope you enjoyed it. I will of course leave links to these sites in the video description, as well as a playlist link to my Play Like a Pro guides if you're new to the channel, which I don't really think you will be, but who knows. So that's it for this time. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye bye.